Hello there, this is RomWills coming back at you with yet another car video. A woman will always find a reason to reject you. Don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it. And let me shout out Dr. Alpharonomy, because he had a video I saw last night, and he was talking about that 5'5" guy who did that surgery, leg lifting surgery, so he could be 6 feet. And he was talking about that. And this inspired it. I'll put a link to that video in the description box. And I was just thinking about that. Because you had this dude, 5'5", paid all this money, did all this stuff for this surgery. And the reality is, yeah, okay, he's 6 feet, I guess. Whatever the case, a woman might not reject him on that height thing, but they'll find something else. Here's the reality. A woman's going, I don't care what you got. I don't care what you have, how you look. You could be consistently handsome, and a woman can still reject you. They can reject you off of anything. To me, it's a waste of energy, waste of time, waste of money to try to change something about yourself, at least spending that much money, at least something that you had to use surgery for or something just to please a woman. Because no matter what, I don't care what it is about you, there's something about you a woman's going to reject. Like, you get a lot of guys who talk about Jeremy Meeks, right? And you had a bunch of women going crazy over. And I still never forget on, on one of those IG thirst pages where they put men instead of women, there were some women saying, ugh. There ain't no man on this planet is so perfect that no woman is going to reject him. I don't give a shit. If anybody says that, I would ask them one simple question. Do you know every single man on this planet? Seriously, I don't care. It's a fantasy. I don't care who the guy is, how handsome. They can make money as a supermodel. Somebody gonna reject him. Every man gonna be rejected for something. Okay, like that guy, that 5'5" guy that did that stuff. Okay. Even with the height thing, okay, he did that height to take him up to 6 feet. There's going to be some women that reject him because he ain't 6'1", 6'2". On the gift that keeps on giving, the balloon pop show, there's been plenty of men that's been on that show who are actually 6 feet, and he still got rejected. I remember one episode, this one woman was rejecting men because they weren't 6'5". That's how deep that shit is. And some guys will get mad at the women and all of that. Look, let's turn it around. Men always gonna reject a woman for something. She might have, 5 pounds on her. There's gonna be some man that's gonna reject her. Her hair ain't right. There's gonna be some man that's gonna reject her. Look, everybody ain't gonna love you. I don't give a shit what it is. Like using that 5 foot, the man who, young man who did that surgery to get up to 6 feet. Like I said, a woman could be all right with his height, but then say she don't like his hair. She could say she don't like his teeth. She could say he don't have enough weight on him. You got some women might say he got too much weight on him, even though he's already slim. There's always something. There's always some. And that's just the physicality. They're like on that balloon pop show. They ain't like a man because they ain't like his voice tone. There's something. A woman might not like you because you don't worship your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Or you not Muslim. Shit, she might even be watching this. Very attractive Muslim woman. I ain't even worried about her because she wanted a Muslim man. I was like, well, I ain't Muslim. It's always going to be something. You can't worry about it. The only thing a man can do is just be the best version of himself and go from there. worry about who he is. That's all he can do. You still want to present the best version of yourself. And that's it. That's all you can do. And you really doing that for yourself. You do want to be your best. But you can't please every single woman. Anybody who think they can or worried about it is crazy. Because there's always going to be something. It could be your complexion. It could be your hair grade. It could be you have too much hair. It could be you have hair. Shoot. Even a video I did with Miss Mocha Angel. She said she preferred men who are clean shaven. It's always something. Now, as a man, you can't worry about it. You can't lose sleep over it. Because then if you constantly trying to please every woman, or you saying, well, I need to be tall, or I need to be this, or I ain't getting women because of this, I ain't getting women because of that, they will find something. I'm famous for saying a woman will suck your dick off your shoes. She will also reject you off your shoes. She can reject you for whatever reason. You could say you voted a certain way. Hey, let's just be real. I don't really get into the politics, but there's some guys getting rejected out here because of who they voted for. Let's just be real. A woman can reject you off anything. That don't mean anything wrong with them. Because like I said, a man can reject a woman off anything. There's 4 billion people in this world. 4 billion. Everybody ain't going to love you. All you have to do, only thing I promote is being the best version of yourself and seeing who like it. In fact, that's what I talk about today on my sit-down video. Basics for finding your tribe. You know, not just finding who likes you, but who you like. You ain't gonna go for everybody. It's nothing wrong with that. Hell, it is what it is. And if you get crazy to the point, and I do mean the word crazy to the point, you trying to please everybody, all you doing is a people pleaser. And as a man, the fuck you trying to please every woman you can? No matter how hard you try. You shouldn't even try. Somebody ain't gonna like it. You could be super muscular. Like even like some guys thinking body game is about being super lean or something. Some women ain't gonna like it. I remember I used to work out at this one gym with a buddy. And he had this one guy, that dude was totally cut. She was not feeling him. She wasn't feeling him. She liked big men. She liked big men and stuff. You know? And another thing, she didn't like hair on a man's body. They can reject you for anything. Every woman got their preference. All you can do is be your best and see which women like you for what you got, your presentation, and which ones, not just they like you, but you like them back. Mutual attraction. Seriously. Because you will go crazy out here trying to please every single person. You know? Like that 5'5" guy, I'm sure he's a pretty good guy, you know. Might be a nice guy or whatever, but I guarantee there's some women gonna find some reason to reject him other than height. I guarantee it. I guarantee every single man watching this has been rejected off of something you might not think of as intelligent, but it didn't matter to that woman. My thing is this, and I've told some women this, as long as you don't try to physically hurt me or interfere with my life, you can reject me. I respect it. Shit, I've been rejected for several different reasons. I still say I was rejected by a woman who said I look good. She preferred rougher men. It could be anything. Now, even how you just look, but your personality, shoot. I'm sure plenty of men have been on some dates with some women and everything going well, the woman laughing, and they say the slightest thing that might not mean anything, and then all of a sudden the woman ready to go home. There's always something. But see, any relationship is supposed to be you two click. And you ain't gonna click over everything. And like I said, a man, we ain't taking every woman out here. Let's just be real with that. As men, we ain't taking every single woman. I don't care what they say. You get some women out here, other women be saying, oh, you're a dime. I can't figure it out. How come he ain't want you or something? You know? I remember a woman, and I gotta give it to her, rest in peace. Found out later that she had passed away. But she was talking some big shit about Rom online. She was talking some big shit about Rom online. And I wasn't even, and I was just like, okay. I laughed about it. She was talking some big shit. And I wasn't even worried about it. I was like, oh, okay. Well, she still gave me some pussy, so what the fuck? Shit. Even then. Hell, a woman can have sex with you and then find some shit wrong. She can get with you. Shoot, she can be in a relationship with you and all of a sudden find something wrong. You can't worry about it. That's human nature. That's human nature. You can't worry about it. As long as they ain't interfering with your life or physically try to hurt you. Now, that's a problem, but that's a different problem. But you can't worry about that shit. Because when you go through life, if you worried about pleasing other people, you'll find you'll never really please them. In fact, you living according to their will. You living according to how they want you to be. And you trying to please them and shoot. And some people, they might use you for it. They say, well, I ain't go. A woman might notice that you concerned and stuff and really fuck with your head. One of the things out here, and I've said this constantly, as a man, your primary relationship is with yourself. You got to love yourself. And you know what? There's some women out here, they might say, well, you conceited. Yeah, I am. I feel good about myself. Seriously. And you get other people try to mess with other people's heads and shit. There's always I don't give a fuck who you are. You ain't gonna please everybody. I don't give a shit. You can't worry about it. I'm gonna say that 1,000 times. Regardless of what it is about you physically, mentally, your social class, somebody can reject you because you ain't the same social class as them. They can reject you for 1,000 reasons. You got a tooth missing that you're going to replace anyway. They can reject you. They don't like your tone of voice. There's 1,000 reasons a woman can reject you. It ain't on the woman. If they don't want you, they just don't want you. As long as they don't interfere with your life. Now, if they interfere with your life, okay. But you can't worry about all that other bullshit. And I'm going to call it for what it is. Bullshit. You can't worry about all of that. Because if you start getting caught up in all that other bullshit, then your life is pretty much over. How you going to do stuff? As a man, you just be the best version of what you can be. And not really even for the women, really just for yourself. Just so you can get through life. Because remember, like what I've talked about, body game, that helped me like get past my stroke. That helped me get past my stroke, being in a position where I had some strength. The physical therapists and occupational therapists and the doctors even said so. I wasn't doing that for women. Because, look, you can lift, you can do all that shit. There's still going to be some women who ain't going to like it. And that's cool with me. Even if a woman talk trash, I would say to a woman, she said, well, I don't like you. Okay, well, don't fuck with me then. I've had a couple women say that to me in the past. And one woman said, I don't really like you. And I was like, okay, we just keep a distance from each other. That's all I said to her. She got mad because of it. Because you can't, you really can't, seriously. Guys out here worried about, like, there's too many men out here, they worry about their face ain't a certain thing. They don't have like a square jaw or something like that. So what? You got what you got. Somebody will like it. Now, if nobody is, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of times what it is with a person, it's not their physicality if people don't like them or women don't like them. It's the attitude. Because I've seen guys who would be considered physically ugly out here, physically big. They ain't what some people think got to be perfect, and they still getting women. They still feel good. They just live with it. They laugh about it. They'll call themselves ugly. Shoot, they'll be like, you know what? They might not be 6 feet tall. They could be 5'2". I mentioned before somebody that my co-parent knew was 5'2", was knocking women down like crazy because he ain't give a fuck. You gotta just work, and I talked about that the other day. You just gotta work with what you got, because it is you. It is you. You know? Because I remember when back in the 80s, that's when like light-skinned brothers win. I ain't light-skinned. But then I look at myself now and look at them. Shoot, my skin is still in good shape. I shave all this. I look what? I look like I'm in my 40s. In fact, somebody tried to insult me one time, talking about, yeah, you 40 years old and all this. I was like, thank you. And shit. That's because the skin ain't being bothered by the sun like some other people would. Look, whatever you got, just work with it, live with it. And it's always, I don't give a shit what it is. You ain't going to be perfect. You could be 6'5". I remember on that balloon pop show, this woman said this guy who was 6'5", she said, you just too tall. There's always going to be something. Now, you could get mad, or you could just go on. You could just laugh about it. Because it's for, first of all, if you're thinking about the women, as I always say, there's 4 billion women on this planet. Somebody ain't feeling you. Somebody ain't feeling you for whatever reason. But you don't worry about them. You worry about the women feeling you. The women going for you. Because there's always somebody. You know? If you talk about that height thing, I've said several times I ain't 6 feet. Now, if I throw on boots or something, yeah, I can get to 6 feet. But, like, whatever. Like, you got some motherfuckers out here with, like, the height thing. Some people wearing some lifts in their shoes. I'm like, fuck it. If a woman, this is what I am. This is what I am. If a woman don't like it, do us both a favor. Don't try to use me or anything like that. You know? Because I'm comfortable and stuff. And like I said, I've been called conceited and whatever, cocky, whatever. That's right, because I love myself. As a man, you just got to be the best version. You got to love yourself, not for everybody else, but for yourself. You got to be good with yourself. Yourself. You got to love yourself, you know? And shoot, Dr. BOA, he brought in God. Shoot, God made you whatever you are. How you call yourself religious and stuff, but you saying God made a mistake? Whatever you are, you are. You still want to be the best version, but that's it. And even then, there's still going to be some women reject you. They'll reject you for anything. Like those balloon pop shows, I'm going to mention that again. You got women rejecting guys because they don't like their clothes, how their clothes look on them or some shit. Okay. It is what it is. They reject you. You just keep going. You just keep going. You don't need that woman. The woman that you want to deal with is the one who feels you the way you are. That's actually better anyway, because if a woman feeling you the way you are, she's going to be in cooperation with your operation. And I've seen tests like that. I've seen dudes who've been rejected, but then they run into that right woman. You know? You just got to go on and do your thing. That's it. All right? So anyway, that's all I have. You know, check out Dr. BOA's video, because it inspired this, because it's too many guys. I mean, come on, man. You want to spend some money to change yourself for women? Because he don't know the long-term effects of that shit. He don't know the long-term effects. And you don't worry about it. I don't give a fuck. Look, don't give a fuck. Yeah, you got women out here talking height. Okay, whatever. Yet you got some motherfuckers ain't 6 feet. They knocking down women like crazy. Shit. And in general, women just want a man. Many women want a man taller than them, but then there's still some women hooking up with guys who they are taller than the man. As a man, just be who you gonna be, your best version. Have your mindset that you gonna do what you wanna do. Fuck all that other bullshit, cause you ain't gonna please everybody. That's the bottom line. You ain't gonna please everybody. It's impossible to please everybody. Somebody ain't gonna like you for some reason. It's gonna be something. If it ain't physical, it's something mental. It could be your social class, your politics, your religion. Somebody ain't gonna like it. Man, oh well. They just need to stay the fuck out your way then. That's it. Anyway, y'all. I want y'all to seriously think about that. And if y'all don't get anything else from what I talk about on this channel, it's about having that relationship with yourself. And being the best version, not for everybody else, but for yourself so you can get through life. All right? So, damn, okay. So, whatever. Seriously, you're going to get rejection's a part of life. Everybody ain't going to like something about you. You know? As long as they stay the fuck out your way. That's all they need to do. So anyway, that's all I have for today, y'all. For the day. And I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. Peace and blessings.